Alright, so I've calmed down from the initial hype of this Marvel reveal. I'm back at it again. We gotta relook at this trailer one more again, bro. We gotta look at it one more time. I got it pulled up here. Hold on. I need it in better quality. We'll take a look at this, bro. This was not what I was expected to see at the end of that state of play, bro. A Marvel fighting game made by Arcsys. Y'all already know how I get about Marvel on this channel, man. I love Marvel vs. Capcom, and you telling me Arc System made a 4v4 Marvel tag fighter. Look at these designs for Cap and Iron Man, bro. Like, I'm gonna watch it through, and then we gonna go back and break it down, and then I got an article I gotta read for y'all. But like, bro, this game looks beautiful, bro. There goes Spidey. Kamala's in the game too. The thing is, it's like a lot of these, like, there's a lot of clear inspiration. Obviously, this is off the skeletal structure of Strive. You can see it, but like the art style is so completely different from what Arc System normally does, bro. Like Star-Lord schmoovin'. They brought Robbie into the game. The Young Buck, Ghost Rider. Like, come on, man. Hey, this game just looks amazing. There goes Dr. Doom. Big Doom. Got that thing on him, never lacking. Come on, man. Then this, bro, yeah, it's so much I gotta slow it down and break down, bro. Storm, baby girl. Love the design, too. She looks amazing. She looks so good, bro. There's so much going on in this game. 4v4 is so chaotic, but like, it's gonna be so lit at the same time. Got all the supers. Bro, look at these animations. Like, you could never, like, Arc System, you could always depend on to get some fire animations in the game, bro. Like, come on, bro. They just got this. They just got the animation game on lock. It don't matter what game. They just got this on lock at all times. This game, bro. Like I said, y'all know how I get about Marvel versus Capcom. And you gonna give me a full Marvel tag fighter? One of the reasons I love Marvel vs. Capcom so much is because I'm just a big Marvel fan in general. Like, Marvel, DC, superhero fan. I just love Marvel, DC comics. I just love superhero stuff in general. So stuff like this, it just gives me the opportunity to just nerd out, honestly. So we definitely running it back. Come on. Alright, so we gonna run this back. I kind of want to just take a look at a couple things. First I want to talk about the stage in this background. Now, if you notice, a lot of the stages in this game, and this is how I know there gotta be people that's either fans, obviously there's fans of Marvel vs. Capcom on this dev team, or there's people that like worked on that game somehow that's here. Some is clicking, or some gotta be happening in the back there, because there's a lot of maps in this game that are like reimagined versions of the maps that were in Ultimate Marvel 3 and even like Marvel 2. There might be some maps coming back, stuff like that. Like, this stage in the back here is basically just a reimagined version of the New York stage that's in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which is dope as hell to see. Obviously, I said it earlier that you can tell the framework of this game is kind of built off of the framework of Strive, like just with how bulky the character models are, like how bulky they are, how like blocky they kind of, or stocky, I should say, how stocky they look, kind of similar to how Strive's models is, but the gameplay doesn't resemble that at all, because this game to me is literally if Strive just took the weights off, you know. Like, we just saw, like, look at the movement already. You saw Iron Man's air dash. Ain't no plate he gotta hop off of, bro. Just got a straight regular air dash, bro. Look at it. I don't know why it's taken them about 8 years to put an actual air dash back in their games, but you know, here he is. Actual functional air dash. Man, Cap said knock it out the air, anti-air with the launcher, going about 15 stories into the air, into an air combo, knock back down, ground bounce into the combo, and then we get the tag. Like, bro, Arc System, I don't know where you've been at the last couple years, bro, but I'm glad you back, because what you've been doing, personally, I ain't been a fan of. As someone who loves Arcsys writers, to be honest, they ain't been cooking with a lot of them for me since 2017. Like, I'll say 2018, just to give some leeway. But personally, 2017. Anyways, even go back to this stage, bro. This stage got so many Easter eggs and stuff in it. You got hints of like Wasp and Ant-Man with the honeycomb logo back there. They had a Dazzler poster in the side there. There's stickers all over the screen or all over the stage hinting at other characters. Like, there's so many Easter eggs. I'm gonna have to go back and I might make a separate video about that in itself. But obviously we got the tag mechanic here, which I'm kind of interested on how they're gonna go about this tag system, because this is either gonna be active tag or it's just gonna be straight regular an assist tag game, which honestly I kind of hope it is. Like, a lot of tag games that have been coming out have been active tag games, and I personally don't have a problem with active tag games, but I don't want that to be like the norm when it comes to tag fighters. Like, I feel like sometimes just a regular, like old regular tag fighter is fine, and especially for a game like this, if there's gonna be 4v4, being a regular tag assist fighter is perfectly fine. Like, you don't need active tag and all that, but we'll see. I have to break it down a little bit more just to fully see. But you see Cap tagged out. He got the thumbs up there. Kamala coming in with the big punch. And then it didn't go to stage transition yet. This right here too. But here we saw Kamala do like a little spot dodge thing. Like this right here. Now, I don't know if this is like a universal like spot dodge mechanic, or if Kamala just has her own like spot dodge animation. But there are a couple times in this trailer where like characters do like these dodges and stuff like that, so there might be a universal spot dodge mechanic in the game, which again, being a 4v4 game, it would make sense to have like a defensive mechanic like this. I didn't see any resemblance of push block yet. I might have to, maybe I missed it, but I didn't see any resemblance of push block or anything. So spot dodge might be like one of the big defensive mechanics for this game. That'd be pretty cool. Iron Man rushed in with his missiles. Kamala got the, again, another hint that I would say is someone on this team gotta been playing Marvel 3, bro, because if you know this move Kamala's doing, this is literally Super Scroll's like tornado, like his little tornado move he does. Bar for bar took his whole flow, and then that right there, that's Super Scroll's charge heavy punch, his charge like roundhouse punch basically. Literally Kamala just has a lot of his moves in general. You got the crossover, here comes Spidey, ooh, uppercut. Now right here, this is another one where I'm like, is this active tag or nah? Because what is this? Because we see right here, Iron Man tagged into, so Iron Man's blocking, crossover. Okay, so I think this is a defensive mechanic actually. This might be like a what's the word for it? Not a parry, but kind of, I should say like a defensive assist, I guess. So like if you block an attack, you can call your assist to come and basically like do like a counter attack for you if you're in the middle of a blocking animation, which is what I think this is. So Iron Man blocked, and then he activated his defensive assist, which caused Spidey to come out and do like his little DP, and then Iron Man inputs his unibeam, and when he does the unibeam, then he tags into Spidey. And in itself, I'm like, okay, this game is gonna have a decent amount of defensive mechanics, because we always saw Kamala with this spot dodge. We see Iron Man doing his little doing his defensive assist call, or defensive like on block. I'm forgetting the name of the name of the term that is actually called. Alpha counter, that's what it is. I think that was basically what that was, like an alpha counter for this game, where you can call an assist while you're in block stun to get your attacker off you, and then while your assist is recovering from the move they did, you can tag into them after you inputted something else, which is super dope. Like I said, this is basically semblance of active tag in a way. Then Spider-Man comes in, picks up off of what you did as Iron Man. And this is another move that might be like a universal mechanic, because it has like that yellow glow on it. This is either a defensive mechanic, or this game might have EX moves. But Spider-Man has this little counter, I guess, because you see the spider sense tingling. The spider sense is tingling. Miles about to attack him. He does a dodge, comes back, attacks, calls in cap assist, and then he continues the combo into stage transition. So already we see counters, we see alpha counters, and we see spot dodges in this game. So if you are worried that this game is going to be too chaotic with 4 characters on screen, do not worry. There's obviously a bunch of defensive mechanics that they thought of to keep you safe in this game and not have to worry about a lot of stuff like that. So here we have Spider-Man doing he got the web zip. Tried to zip in on Kamala. Kamala blocked it. Cap had her back with the shield throw assist. Kamala grabs him, comes in, and here comes Star-Lord tagging. Let me see how this tag worked too though. You call the assist, but you can actually call the assist mid-attack. Like it's not like Marvel where you can't call your assist. You can't call your assist when you're already mid-animation. You have to wait till you're like not doing anything and then call the assist, and then you can continue to do like pressure and stuff. Kamala's mid-attack here, and then she calls in Star-Lord while she's mid-attack. And then she tags into him for Star-Lord to continue and do his super, which is basically just a base of like $1 million, and then the ending of a Rocky Raccoon super with the big explosion ball. So that's kind of sick. Spider-Man did his web ball, and as you can see, again, Arc System movement back in the building. Arc System movement back. You see Star-Lord schmoving on him? Look at that, man. This is what I'm talking about right here. Arc System, like I said, I don't know where you've been at, but I'm glad you back, man. I'm glad you back. Look at this movement from that man Star-Lord. And this stage at the back is dope as hell too. Like I said, you got the big 3 up here: Iron Man, Captain America, Thor standing on the Avengers statue monument. Like, bro, you see Spider-Man doing the web ball. Star-Lord popped over it, air dash into combo, freeze gun, downward slide. I never seen Peter Quill move like that. That's all I'm saying. I never see him move like that. But then, hold on. This is another defensive mechanic I think is in the game, like a defensive dodge or move, or like a universal movement mechanic I think is in the game, because you see these after images, and it shows up again later on with, I think, Robbie and Doctor Doom, I believe. Because you see Quill. I can't even say Peter because they both ain't Peter. You see Star-Lord shoot his beam out, and then Spider-Man stops, and then he dodges it. You see the animation, like he dodges it, flips back, doesn't attack, calls in Ghost Rider, that young boy Robbie, calls in Ghost Rider, put a combo with the chain, tags into Ghost Rider, and there he goes. Stage transition, now we back on the other side of the map, and again, another reference to, like I said, the Marvel 3 alley map where it has like all the missing posters. This is basically like a reimagined version of that, but this is more so focusing on if you can notice a lot of the Easter eggs in this place. This is Daredevil. You know, this is basically where Daredevil stage at. If you people the back, look who's staring out the window. That young Matt Murdock. I'll be continuing the combo. I gotta say, this is like this is probably the best Ghost Rider they could have chose for a game like this, especially from Arc System. Because unlike Johnny, Johnny is more like I ain't gonna say he's a tank, but he's basically like a slow walking like tank type Ghost Rider. Robbie's more of the crash out young buck Ghost Rider. Like you see, he's flailing a lot more. He got a lot more stuff going on with the chains. Like he's a lot more movement, like a lot more mobile. You know, like I said, he got a lot more going on than Johnny do. We take it back. Star-Lord got his attack called in Cap assist, and then he tagged into Doom. Doom went for the command grab, walks up, and this right here. If you peep, Doom does this movement a lot throughout, but then when he's like just regularly walking, all he really does is just walk. And then when it's time for him to dash, he does this like invincible teleport dash, which leads me to believe Doom doesn't have like an actual like run. Like you see Robbie's over here, you see him running. Doom doesn't have one of those. He's like a dash type character, which is gonna be crazy for when it comes to mix. And since the dash is invincible, look what happens. He dashes through Robbie's attack, dash through instantly, pulls out the gun, boom. Then he does it again. His air dash is also just that teleport dash, and then the teleport dash led him to call out Star-Lord, and Doom also has this laser coming down. So it's like you gotta block the cross up from Doom, plus hold the laser, plus hold his assist. He couldn't block. He just got shit. He getting hit by sub, and Star-Lord shot him in the back of the head. Doom reset him with the air throw, calls the laser down that tracks you, by the way. because it tracked his roll. The laser tracked the roll. Doom went in, teleported again, but got hit by the Storm anti-air assist. Then Robbie tags into Storm, and then Storm does a super off of it. So this wasn't technically a DHC, but because Robbie tagged into Storm, he was able to just turn the assist into a super, which is dope. Storm comes in. Storm's whole moveset is like crazy. Like they really taken the fact that she has all this control over the weather, and they're really making you like feel that in a lot of her animations, which I love a lot. That whole fall down, like she just drops like a whole gust of wind down when she came down with the tornado. That was just a whole wind gust that causes ground bounce, and then she continues the combo into the electric push. Yeah, Storm looks sick. She looks sick. Now this is just like a whole bunch of chaos. We gotta see what's going on. This part right here definitely gonna have to slow it down. Catch some of the assists. Storm throws an ice ball, unibeam. Star-Lord got his own beam assist. Seems Cap has like a defensive parry type assist, because when you look at when Ghost Rider runs in on him, and Ghost Rider does this this overhead slash attack, if you pay attention to Cap's shield, like it kind of glimmers a little bit. It kind of glimmers twice once the attack actually goes off. And you see him like kind of stutter a little bit, like he was getting attacked, and then that caused him to throw the shield out. So it's, you basically did that entire sequence just showed a whole bunch of like assists for the characters. There's anti-air assist, neutral assist, defensive parry assist. It's basically just a bunch of assists to either cover your approach or cover people coming in on you. So you have a bunch of options to help you defend in different areas or help you approach in different areas as well. So they really thought of a lot of things when it came to this game. Goes Peter Quill with the combos, tornadoes. And this is kind of like a team active like switch, not even active, like a team switching like combo. Kind of similar, like I said, kind of similar to Marvel 3, where you can knock when you have the opponent in like an air combo, you can knock them up to switch into your other assist and then do it again to your third character, and then it just knocks them down. This is basically what that is. This is quite literally that, but just with a different animation, and then you have the other two coming in to finish it off. And now we just pop it all the supers, the level 3s. Like this game, I'm not gonna lie, this game has a lot of defensive mechanics in it, which makes sense for the type of game you want this to be. If you're gonna make a 4v4 tag fighter, you have to have an equal amount of defensive options, but also have good offensive options to kind of even out the playing field, to not make it too crazy, but you also still want to have the fun factor there. So I feel like they've definitely found a good balance of that from everything that I've seen in this trailer so far, which is really good. And you got the suit. Like I said, look at this. Like I said, Robbie is the crash out. All Ghost Riders are inherently crash outs by default, but Robbie is by far one of the biggest crash outs among them. That cool lie to you. Star-Lord pose and all. Like this whole scene is just, like I said, Arc System when it comes to the animation, they are like top notch, bar none. Nobody is competing with them like that for real. Ready 26. This game looks sick. Breaking this down, like I said, this game looks amazing. I can't wait for Fighting Souls to actually drop. But now we got an article that I want to read to y'all that kind of goes over the devs team's like vision, I want to say, when it comes to making this game. So we gonna hop straight over and see what they talk about. So we are on the PlayStation blog for Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. You got the picture. It says assemble your own team of legendary Marvel characters in an ultimate 4v4 tag team fighter. PlayStation Studios, Arc System Team, and Marvel Games have joined forces to realize the latest in tag team fighters, Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. Experience the Marvel universe like never before with reimagined characters and stages, a heart-pounding soundtrack, intuitive gameplay mechanics, and jaw-dropping visuals that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Whether this is your first fighting game or you are a veteran at the genre, Arc has incorporated gameplay controls and mechanics that are easy to pick up and play, and yet still offer the depth and versatility to high-level competition. So basically, uh, easy to play, hard to master. Basically, like that's been like the gameplay. I don't even say like buzzword term. Basically, like when it comes to every new fighting game that's been dropping late recently, it's like easy, easy to pick up, hard to master, stuff like that. Like that's been like the buzzword or buzzword term that I've heard so much. I'm just expecting to see it basically at this point. So just it's not bad. It's just like I see it so much. All right. From the beginning, we aim to make Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls a title that could be enjoyed by a wide variety of players, explains game director and lead battle designer Kazuto Sekine. Generally, a team versus fighting game requires the player to learn multiple characters, but for Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, you only need to master one character in order to play the game. We have designed the mechanics in such a way that you can perform a variety of actions with either traditional fighting game inputs or simple inputs. Thank you for actual having bullshit inputs in the game. I'm so sick of fighting games just taking bullshit inputs out the game. I'm sorry. It's so annoying to me. It just makes playing the game not feel good. And trying to find button schemes on different controller layouts and stuff, it just don't feel good overall. Like just put the motion inputs in the game and give people the option to use them if they want to or not. Give people the option for both. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'd ask. So I'm glad they're actually doing that. With the press of a few buttons, multiple characters can appear on screen to provide backup or attack together, creating a new and exciting team versus battle experience. Since day one, our long-time and trusted collaborators at PlayStation and the team at Arc System Works have poured incredible amounts of talent and passion into reimagining the Marvel Universe in a way that only they can, said Michael Francisco, Senior Product Development Manager, Marvel Games. I would just call this Marvel Fighting Souls or Marvel Tokon. Marvel Tokon demonstrates that they are absolute masters of their craft and are true Marvel fans at heart. Players are in for a wild ride. Alright, getting into the meat and potatoes, the characters. Enter the fray with iconic Marvel heroes and villains such as Captain America, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Doctor Doom, Storm, Miss Marvel, Star-Lord, and Ghost Rider, Robbie Reyes. Each with Arc's unique twists on their character design and gameplay styles. Got some pictures here, like I said. Adding Robbie instead of like Johnny Blaze as the Ghost Rider is such a good choice, especially for Arc System, because it allows them to show a lot more finesse and creativity. Because like I said, Robbie is the young buck. He's more of the crash out than Johnny is. You know, Johnny's, like I said, he's more of the stoic like tank Ghost Rider, but Robbie's the crash out. He'll pop in, go wild, go crazy, and how he uses his chains and stuff is a lot different. So it makes sense why they would choose this one, especially since they're trying to push a lot of the new gen characters or newer gen characters from the old. It makes sense why they would go with Robbie as well. This redesign for Storm, sick. I love how it's kind of a mixture of her Marvel 2 look, but still keeping like a bunch of elements that are Arc System isms in there, you know, try to keep their old spin on things, but it's still like an iconic Storm fit at the end of the day. It's really sick. And you got Star-Lord here. Star-Lord, I'm gonna lie, this kind of just looks like Marvel Rival Star-Lord. Okay. Arc producer Takeshi Yamanaka states, there are so many amazing Marvel characters that it's quite a struggle to choose our roster, but we did have some criteria for the selection process. First and foremost, we wanted to include characters who we feel to be the face of Marvel. At the same time, we also needed to select characters that would give us a balance of battle types and styles. Lastly, we wanted to sprinkle in a few surprises and leave room for characters who have never been playable in a fighting game before. So basically, they just told us they want popular characters, but they also want characters that we might not have seen in games before, but still fit, you know, the archetypes that fighting games basically need to build out their rosters. I have another video that I'm going to be working on, doing my whole like predictions and who I think is going to get into the game, which is going to be super fun to do. Just going through that entire Marvel list, but this kind of makes sense. Like I said, Marvel doesn't do things like this unless it is to try and tie into something else or try and bring in, you know, or push other things that they're working on as well. So I think with this game coming out next year, which is also like gonna be like a big reset in a way for them when it comes to like the MCU and the Marvel movies. I'm not saying this game is going to strictly take characters that are strictly for that, but there's definitely going to be a bunch of characters that we're going to be seeing coming out in MCU movies and stuff like that next year that are going to be present in this game strictly to try and tie into a lot of those releases, while also still keeping like maybe some deep cuts or some unknowns that we might not have seen in a while, or we might not have seen, you know, ever in a fighting game to come into this game. So yeah, I'm gonna make that prediction video. It's gonna be pretty fun. Yamanaka-san continues. Early on in the project, we experimented with her shader to recreate a more Western comic book visual style, but the Marvel team expressed a desire for us to lean into something more Arc-like. It was then that we switched our approach to the game's visuals and began to lean more into Japan animation style Arc is known for. So basically, Marvel was like, we ain't come to you to give us something we could have got over there. We came to you because y'all are Arc system and we want to see what you can do. And I love that. They're basically, Marvel is in such a different space than they were like back when Marvel Infinite came out when it comes to the Marvel IP as a whole. And you see this in a lot of the products they've put out when it comes to like games like Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, when it comes to Marvel Midnight Suns, even Marvel Rivals, for instance. Like anytime they lend this IP out for different companies to use, they let those companies have creative freedom on how they want to use them, as long as they're representing the characters in a way that they feel is good for the branding. They kind of let the companies just do what they want and give them that creative freedom, which is good because it doesn't stifle creativity and it doesn't stop the companies from doing what they actually want to do, or going about how they want to make their games and their visuals in a certain style, which is a good thing. Yeah, Marvel wasn't really doing for a while. During the Marvel Infinite times, we could see how that game turned out. So, gameplay mechanics. From short-range jabs to cinematic ultimate skills, each character features a bespoke set of normal, special, and unique attacks inspired by their abilities and powers in Marvel lore. Arc has gone to great lengths to ensure that gameplay style, movement, and feel of these legendary characters is fresh, new, and wholly unique to Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. But it's not just the individual gameplay of the characters that has been enhanced. Significant dedication has gone into reimagining and redefining what it means to be a tag team fighter. Team versus fighting games have a long tradition of 2v2 or 3v3 team formats, so this is something we discuss in depth within the development team. We went back and forth many times, from thinking we might be better off making a 1v1 game or sticking to the established 3v3 format. Sakaine continues, at its core, we felt that the appeal of team versus fighting games is the intensity of battle with multiple characters on screen at once. Additionally, one of the appeals of Marvel Comics is seeing the vast cast of characters coming together to create all kinds of unique team-ups. So basically, tag fighters are meant to be crazy, and people just want to see a lot of characters on screen. They're not wrong. You know, as long as there's a method to the madness. I don't like this notion that a lot of new people think tag fighters are just all crazy all the time and no nuance to what's going on. A lot of the really good tag fighters, you can tell, have a lot of nuance between a lot of nuance in the character and player to player interaction. A lot of like things you have to keep note of to know what's going on screen. A 4v4 in a 4v4 aspect, that's gonna be even harder, but tag fighters aren't essentially just all balls to the wall, crazy things, animations, explosions everywhere all the time, just to have it, just to do it. A lot of the time there is a lot of expression, a lot of, like I said, player to player interaction that has to go on, that you have to really pay attention to and lock into. And those are the tag fighters that end up lasting the test of time, because there's a lot more to them than what most people would generally think there is when it comes to a lot of crazy games like this. With these two ideas in mind, we concluded that creating a 4v4 team versus system would be the best way to not only create those over-the-top moments, but to further evolve the tag fighting genre. This being the first ever 4v4 tag fighter is incredible because it opens the door for people to just think outside the box, because like they said, for so long we've only had 2v2 or 3v3, and for the longest time people thought that was the max. It was just 3v3. We can't go anywhere beyond this. Stages. The stages come to life in Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, filled with Easter eggs for eagle-eyed fans to find. Most stages also feature multiple areas. These transitions between areas are not just action-packed and stunning to witness, but they also play a strategic role. Check out the screenshots from Marvel New York City to see what you can find. More to come. Today's announcement is just the beginning of our journey, from characters and stages to gameplay mode and the online experience, there's so much more we can't wait to share with you. So one, when it comes to the stages, like I said when I was breaking it down, a lot of these stages, like I said, are reimagined versions of stages that we've seen in past Marvel games, but they're also iconic locations in Marvel lore in general. You can see a lot of stuff in the background. Like I said, we pointed out Matt Murdock is in the stage, in the alley stage. You can see him in the window looking at the fight going on, and there's a lot of hints of like Matt Murdock stuff. Either in the New York stage, you see the Dazzler, you see hints of like Hank Pym and Wasp and Ant-Man. So it's like there's a lot of things in the background that can hint at other characters you might end up seeing in the game, but also just like things for fans of Marvel to just take note of and appreciate as well. And one thing I also want to notice, obviously this game is going to have rollback netcode because they want to talk about the online experiences arc system. At this point, they know they have to put rollback in the game. But they also mentioned the gameplay modes. One mode I'm excited for that I think they're actually going to show off in this game is like an actual 4-person versus 4-person online mode, like similar to like how fighters had their 3v3 mode, that you can have 3 friends versus another 3 friends and everybody has control of one character. And then they brought it again in Strive, 3 friends and 3 friends, everybody controls one character and y'all can fight each other in like a tag based thing. I feel like a lot of those are good. That mode is going to be implemented in this. You're going to be able to get 4 friends and fight 4 friends. Everybody control what character. Is going to be chaos. I already know this is something that's going to be put in the game. It's without a question. That's without question. I'm just waiting for them to reveal it, but I feel like that's something that they're gonna put in the game and it's gonna be super sick. But yeah, basically Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. Like I said, I'm super excited for this game. Everything I've seen from it looks dope. It's giving me a lot of vibes of old Marvel fighting games, old Marvel vs. Capcom, which I love. And like I told y'all know how I feel about that series, but this game just looks sick as a whole because it's taking a lot of stuff from there, but you can tell they're really fans of the Marvel vs. franchise in general, and they're trying to pay respects to it in this game. I remember them saying something about it in like the interview that came on after the game got revealed, but you can tell that they're trying to pay respects to the game by also giving it their own arc system flair and giving it their own style. And I love that a lot because this game already has its own character to it. You can't just say it's just a Marvel clone. And to be honest, there hasn't been a game that's come out that's been a Marvel clone. Marvel vs. Capcom has always been its own thing, and there's never been a game to just recapture that. Every tag fighter that's come out off after the fact has just been tag fighters trying to copy that formula, but they haven't perfected it, or they haven't like really gotten the feel of what that game is for a lot of people. So I'm not even saying this game will, but this game is definitely going to have its own style, its own flair, and its own thing that's going to keep it going, which is what I'm excited for the most, especially with it being IP it is. I definitely have a lot of high hopes for this game. So asking me for this video, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, how you guys are feeling about Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. Like I said, I really wish we workshopped the name a little bit more, but Marvel Tokon is where we at, so it is what it is. But let me know how you guys feel about it in the comment section down below. But all that being said, that's from it for me. Hope you guys did enjoy the video as always. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm out. So, boy.